Hey, it's your favorite Stacy here again, today in the wonderful Oslo. Now, Oslo is capital of Norway, and Norway being one of the strongest top 4 economies in the world. Got a new microphone. Exciting, huh? There's a nice fortress over there. That fortress has never been penetrated. Just give you a bit of interesting stuff. Beautiful harbour, extremely expensive, but a wonderful place. Look, today the talk that I want to do. Last time when I was in Stockholm, we talked about setting a goal, and we started to work with some of the people on the coach today, which is really cool. Goal setting, like I said, it's about using numbers so you're clear and specific, and it's in a position where you can tick when you know you've achieved it. Now, one of the things that I do in the workshops that's really powerful, it's essential really, is to use mind maps to explore those goals. So first you write out your list of things to do. You get clear on what they are. And sometimes it's a bit clear. If you want to buy a house in the south of France and you're like, well, I know I want a house in the south of France, but I don't really know much more about it. I can't really put numbers on it. So the next step to explore the expanse of the goal and the particulars of the goal is to use something called mind maps. Now, mind maps are those things where you draw a circle in the middle and you draw a branch out the side like this, and then branches from the sides, from those branches and subcategories, and you explore the different factors and features of your goal. Our brains work this way. The majority of the world is kind of designed like this. A city map, you have the main highways and artillery kind of roads. You have artery roads, and then you have sub roads, and you have small maps, you have laneways, and then if you want to take it even further, you have the driveway to your garage, you have the front door, and then you have the pathways throughout your house. So it's kind of like a mind map in that sense. A tree grows through the trunk, it's got the big branches, it's got the skinny branches, it's got the little twigs, and then the leaves. A river, you've got the ocean, you've got the main rivers, you've got the small streams coming off the side, you've got the little trickles and waterfalls and that sort of stuff. So our brain, our bodies, it's the same sort of stuff. Main arteries, we have the main veins, and then we have the small little arteries and capillaries, whatever you call them, heading out into the body. So our brains work the same way, and it's very natural for us to think in mind maps. So I encourage you to explore your goal that way. Write your goal in the middle, and then explore who are the people that are involved. What are the parameters? What's the definition of a house in France for you? What is it? So what are the potential cities? Antibes, Cannes, Nice? What kind of price range? What are the things you need to do? Do you need to maybe do some research on some French websites that have an English version? Do you need to maybe go to France? Perhaps you can subsidize a trip to France. If that was your goal. If your goal was to lose weight, you could explore things you could do in your kitchen. You could explore things you could do at work, things you could do on the way to work, maybe just some exercise that you could incorporate into your regime. If it was saving money, you could explore places where you could make more, places you could save, things that you could subsidize and offset, and so on. The mind map, it allows you to use a big piece of paper, preferably A3 or A2. I personally work on A2, so I do mind maps all the time. When I got this job that sends me around the world to get paid to be here, I'm pretty chilled. I actually explored, how am I going to create this? How am I going to let this work into my life with my other businesses? So the best way to do that was a big A2 mind map. I titled it My Eternal Summer, and then I explored, how am I going to get these other businesses to work while I'm away? So mind maps are really powerful. If you listen to any of the success talkers or professional speakers or whatever it might be, or even big businesses and marketing companies, they always work with mind maps and flowcharts. So I just work with it. Google how to use it if you're not sure what my explanation really means. With a mind map, you get to extract two things. You can extract a much clearer definition. So if your goal is kind of a vague sentence and you want to explore it and come up with a better definition, the mind map is a really good tool to actually clarify those numbers that I talked about. To clarify what are the, what's the exact goal, what's the time frame, what's the quantities, the values, the weight, or the dollar figure, or whatever it might be. And the mind map also enables you to create a to-do list. So you get a clear definition of your goal, and you get a to-do list. From going through the mind map, you can look around all the things that come out of it, and trust me, when you do it, you will find that there are a whole lot of stuff in your head that you hadn't even thought about, that you already know the right people, you already know the right place to go, you know where to find the answers for particular things, and when you explore on a mind map, you will find a to-do list and a smart definition. So that's the next task. That's step two, and the 10 steps to designing the life of your dreams, designing your perfect life with passion, power, purpose, profit. Eventually we're going to get to a place where I can show you that your goals can create a wonderful lifestyle where you serve. And I know that might not appeal to you right now, but I can tell you that's what makes you happy. That's what makes people happy. You can make money out of doing something you love for people that love what you do. To do what I love in service of those who love what I do. I've said that again and again, and I'm going to keep saying it because it really is it's the key to a wonderful life. So that's step 2. There's 10 steps. Next week we're going to talk about a vision board and actually collecting images. So once you have your mind map, and you can do this with a bunch of goals. I recommend you do it with the most powerful goal that you have, the one that's going to change your life the most. Explore it, get your mind thinking, because when you're driving the car and doing the dishes, the answers to these questions will come to you. All you need to do is pose those questions to your mind. Next week we'll talk about a vision board, and then later on we're going to talk about some other things like writing out your entire life. 100 points of what you've done in your life, exploring who you are and what you've been and what you've done and what you have to offer. There's a lot to this process, so please, give it some effort. If you do this, you will be in the top 3% of people in the world, probably in the top 1% of the people in the world who set goals. These are the people that create this stuff. These are the people that make all the money, live all the dreams, that own the jet boats, that own these beautiful boats. They're owned by people who make goals. 99% of the population doesn't do it. 97% don't write goals at all. 1% write and review their goals, and I guarantee they're the people that own the boats. They're the people that get paid to travel the world. They're the people that have the life that you want. And it's not natural to be proactive about this stuff. However, it produces the results that make you proud when you're an old person sitting there reflecting on your life and sharing your stories across the table with people that you love and that you care about. I'm going to get back on my faithful steed and go for a little cruise through the city of Oslo. Thank you once again, and love you and leave you. And next time, I don't know, it might be at a glacier. It could be the midnight sun in the Nordkap. We're going up to where the sun doesn't set. Fantastic. Mind maps, stage 2. See you soon. And I'm going to turn you up with my phone. Maybe not. Ciao.